So the first one we founded by a reputable individual in blockchain technology and also fintech space. So let me introduce our team. On our advisor board is Dr. Lợi Liu from Kyber Network, a startup who raised 52 million of US dollar in 2017. Mr. Hải Bùi used to live in Silicon Valley, and he was an entrepreneur, serial entrepreneur who started many startups, and now he holds a very high role in an innovative bank in Vietnam. Myself is Thomas Dao. Previously, I'm a manager from Astro, Malaysia, biggest television satellite service in Malaysia. Bill Nguyen is a CTO from Sotatech, and we have a big, a close partnership with Sotatech, which is specialized in exchange technology. So, in fact, many exchange in the world are using Sotatech technology, and we are proud to use the same technology. And thanks to that, we are not. Okay. So the second biggest things I want to mention about our exchange is we are government friendly, unlike any other exchange in Vietnam now, right? So we are, as you know, the government approved the decision 1255 in 2017 to define the framework for regulating crypto, and we are one of the active players who constantly talk with the government to contribute the idea for the legal framework. Thirdly, we are invested by the prestigious venture capital in Singapore and also in Korea. Number 4, we are connected to the liquidity pool of VietChallenge, so any users who join our exchange can immediately chat with the users around the world. And we have the 24/7 customer support and technology as well, as I mentioned, by the technology of Sotatech. So here's some of the positioning in the market right now. So many of the local Vietnamese exchange, they have really low liquidity, so there's no one chat in their website. They may have the good Vietnamese support, but low liquidity, and at the same time, the international exchange like Binance or OKX or Upbit, they have high liquidity, but they don't have good Vietnamese customer support due to the language and the time zone difference. In terms of AML and KYC compliance, we are on the par with the international exchange. And as I know, other Vietnamese local exchange, they don't take the KYC and AML as serious as we do. So we have the AML officer, we have the KYC software bought from Dow Jones for that purpose. In comparison to the local Vietnamese exchange and also international exchange, right? In terms of transaction fee, we are premium, but our ecosystem is more complete. So that is where we can compete with the international exchange in Vietnam. So by ecosystem, I mean we have the crypto-to-crypto exchange, which is already launched on 19th of May. We also have the IEO platform and margin trading platform and fiat-to-crypto platform as well. And we are going to launch all of them by the end of the year. But now the crypto exchange already works, so if you want to create an account, you can do now. About finance, so we have two main sources of revenue. So the first one is the transaction fee, and the second one is for listing and swapping fee. Right. So the first year we try to have the revenue of 100K monthly, and for listing and swaps, in the first year we are free, but in the second year we can estimate an annual revenue of 1 million. So here is our roadmap. And as I mentioned, we have the event held on JW Marriott Vietnam Blockchain Startup on 19th of May. All right. Just recently, and in the event, we welcome like 400 people with delegates from the government and our partners. We hold an discussion panel as well about investment in blockchain technology and the stock chain competition. And here is just some information about competition, just appendix. Thank you, everyone. That is the end of my.
I'm not really sure about legal framework, but love to hear more about that. And second question is how the Vietnamese can deposit money into the exchange and how they withdraw money.
As of now, we don't support the fiat to crypto yet, so users cannot deposit the fiat now. But by the end of the year, you can deposit. We have the integration with the e-wallet in Vietnam, so through that e-wallet, you can use the service.
But can you be more specific?
So let me give an example, just a random name, for example, right? The most famous e-wallet in the Vietnamese market now is Momo, right? So let's assume if we can partner with them, right? The people can just deposit the money as usual to buy the Momo service. But now they have one more channel.
Is it legal? Question, because I'm pretty sure that's not legal.
In Vietnam, right? The thing is, it is illegal to use crypto as a payment method to buy stuff. But if you trade it, you consider it a digital asset, it's not illegal. Yes, I'm sure.
But is it legal to use Vietnamese dong, let's say in my Momo wallet, to purchase Bitcoin in your exchange?
It is kind of the asset exchange, right? So if you consider something an asset, you have the right to buy it and sell it.
I think the biggest issues for most exchanges in Vietnam right now is they're not legal, so they just try to get away, just try to come up with a lot of solutions. Because if it's legal, then you have a lot of competitions, honestly, right? So I don't see any differentiation from what you just presented, for your exchange compared with other exchange globally. So the biggest pain point for me right now to buy Bitcoin is, to deposit the money to buy it, right? So because what you just said is it's legal, so why haven't anyone started similar stuff?
Well, I guess I need to explain it a bit detail here, right? And glad to know you're a crypto trader as well. So
it's a secret, supposed to.
So in Vietnam, right? If you know the decision number 1255, right? The government already approved, right? The decision, and the decision says they need to complete the legal framework to regulate crypto, right? So if it is illegal, right? There is no such decision, right? They still leave a room for the growth of the legal framework, and I guess there is some gray area here in this space, so that is why there's some misunderstanding.
Who is your biggest competitor from Vietnam?
I guess can I come back to the...
And what is your core competitive advantage versus them?
So in Vietnam, in the crypto to crypto space, now is the fintech and just right? The biggest competitive advantage we have over them is the liquidity itself. So if you go to the website, right, there's no trading. The volume is really low, but we have really high liquidity, and just by that we can win over them easily.
The mechanism of trading crypto is similar to stock. That means if you are a stock exchange, you're just a sub-stock exchange because it's trading in a consolidated, a central stock exchange. Or each stock exchange has product for itself and a liquidity for itself.
Mm-hmm. So that is correct for our competitor. The things we have that they don't have is partnership. So we partner with the other big exchange in the world, and we connect. We have the ability, technical ability, to connect our liquidity pool together. Our competitor in Vietnam, they don't have.
It kind of a question for me because I'm not clear the mechanism of trading crypto in Vietnam. Have you trading stock?
I did.
Okay, so you have the stock exchange, right? It's a centralized stock exchange, and each security company is just a gate open a gate for customer to go to that centralized stock exchange. I don't know how that's different from crypto because you say you have higher liquidity, which means you have kind of a separate market inside your self-exchange.
Okay, so let me explain in terms of the stocks, right? So for example, Vietnam have the VN index, right? Exchange, right? So US, we have the NASDAQ, right? Let's assume if all of the order from both of the exchange can be combined together, then the Vietnamese people can see the order from the US, and the US people can see the order from Vietnam, right? So any people from US who goes to NASDAQ can trade with the Vietnamese from the Vietnamese exchange. So that is the definition of connecting the liquidity between the two exchange, and that is exactly how we do it with our exchange.
So it's kind of, for me, you just a gate to open to other biggest crypto exchange, right? You don't create your own market of crypto, right?
I do create. So for any
Sorry, it means you have your own currency of crypto?
no, not necessary. So we have our own user base, right? And that user base, we can allow or not allow them to trade around the world. And we can have define some market. This market can be traded around the world. This market can only be specific to Vietnam. So we have total control over that.
So the liquidity you mean in the slide is the volume of user, right?
Yes, you can understand like that.
Okay.
I've just read the decision 1255 that you mentioned, and it doesn't say anything about legalizing crypto exchange. All it said is that the government agree that they're gonna study the crypto exchange around the world and sort of come up with recommendations and legal framework for Vietnam. Yeah. It doesn't assure that the government of Vietnam will allow crypto exchange. So what sort of risk management you have in hand for, say, investors, users, vendors in your exchange?
Yep. Firstly, we, the VCC Exchange, right, we believe in the future that it will be legalized. Firstly, we really believe that because we see the potential, we see the application of blockchain, right? And we keep talking with the government, and we have a very optimistic view on their reaction on our data, right? So we believe it. So, but of course, in any business, right, there is some risk mitigation, for example, right? So we have the product, we have the user base, but we can open like operating in another legal institution or area or region if one region is not applicable.